Okay, it should work. Replace the mic, I mean, I placed it in a different way, in a different manner. So it might be a bit, the volume might be a bit lower, but let me only check YouTube if this thing works. I think it does, okay. It does not really matter that much. On Twitch I'm not even checking. So hello everyone, and today I will be continuing on this Goblin guy thingy. So potentially maybe today I will be really close to finish it, because only like legs are left and the hand is left and just like some stuff on the ground and whatnot. So there's a huge chance I will actually finish him, and I will keep this one fella like somewhere in here. I kinda enjoy his presence on a screen, but maybe let me put him like somewhere in the background. So you will be like standing. Oh no, he is much smaller. So this, yeah, he will be like this in here, maybe. Because I do enjoy him there. Yeah, so as always, if anyone has any questions whatsoever, and if you would like me to answer your questions, feel free to ask. If you have any artworks that you did and you would like me to see it, also feel free to send it. And if you would like to get a critique or whatever, if I will be able to do so, I will gladly give you a critique if you will somehow find it valuable. So yeah, without any further ado, what is always sounds extremely intelligent, this sentence. Let's start and continue with the Goblin. So recently I have been thinking more and more on what I want to do next after finishing those guys, because slowly but surely it's getting closer to the end, and I'm 100% sure we'll do some custom magic cards. And I was thinking about maybe doing some custom tokens, or on maybe doing some just fake decks. I will just try to come up with a card or whatever, mechanic or whatever, pretty much, and then I will just paint it as I would imagine it looking in Magic the Gathering type of a style, or yeah, whatever, because I got severely addicted to Magic the Gathering again, and I really enjoy looking at all the images and everything. And it turns out, because I recently have finished my Goblin deck, what basically is like a 0 IQ type of a deck. I basically don't have to think, I just like booga booga with goblins and just kill everything and swarm everything with thousands of different goblins. It turns out 90% of artworks that were done for the goblins are done by Jesper Eising, or however to pronounce it. Karl Kopinski did some of the goblins that I have, and other cool artists. So it's not only a really cool deck, it's also a really beautiful deck, because a lot of great art is actually featured on the goblins and everything. Hello, David. I have no idea what delay right now I have on a stream. I changed some settings again, and I have not the slightest clue how long does it take for me to see a message, or how long does it take for you to actually hear that I read your message. So I'm glad you're here. And hey, Gorigon. Yeah. So yeah, Magic the Gathering is extremely cool. Right now, this will be like most likely the main topic that I will talk about when I have no idea what to talk about, because there are like 40 or 30,000, closer to 30,000 artworks in Magic the Gathering, and this is pretty much a lot of art to talk about. So also one of the things that I have been thinking was to maybe do some more casual streams from time to time, if I will finally manage to wake up earlier, which is going extremely well for the past week. I should have more time to maybe do some streams here and there. And I was actually thinking about maybe dissecting some of the Magic the Gathering artworks that I do really enjoy and that I do really like. and to see what makes this art nice, in my opinion, and why I think it is a good artwork. So a little bit more like food for thought, and maybe doing some studies and whatnot, and just trying to emulate some small parts of a painting. Because, for example, let me show you something like Chase Stone. If any of you don't know Chase Stone, you have a huge like homework to do, because, for example, things like this that Chase Stone does are extremely beautiful, and there's like tons of different cool things that you could learn from it, and it just looks really nice, and the reflections and everything is cool. So it might be a good idea to actually study stuff like this, because he do know what he is doing. And he has like thousands more of those. With one of my favorites that he painted is Vren and 6, I believe. It's this one, and there is like, in this painting everything is turbo cool. I have not the slightest clue if he uses 3D and photobashing, obviously, because this is, I hope this is photobashed. And this kind of looks 3D, but on the other hand, I'm not sure. So yeah, but it looks extremely nice. So it will be great to study something like this. And hello, Jade, or Jade, however to pronounce it. Depends on the area. And thank you. I'm glad you like it. So yeah. And now also, because I have been playing with this Goblin Ooga Booga type of a thing, I also decided to make a meal deck, because I do enjoy playing decks that are just like annoying. It's just fun to annoy friends with annoying cards. So I'm basically removing half, or I mean, I'm trying to remove the entire library of cards that they have. And I finally finished this deck. And now I started doing the Rogue Assassin Ninja type of a deck, which is also nice and also have a lot of great art. And I will have to get more familiar with it, because there are a lot of artists in those cards that I have right now that are pretty new to me, and I really enjoy a lot of artworks that I have seen. But yeah, Chase Stone is one of my all-time favorites, with the quality that he provides. And also some of the cards that I do have are painted by him. What is also extremely cool. Also, let me duplicate the Goblin so I can compare what I have done previously and what I can do now. What I will do now. So yeah, Magic definitely is one of the companies that I would love to actually work for one day, to do some freelance or whatever at some point in my life. I remember really back in the days when I was around, like, okay, maybe it's not that really back in the days, but when I was around 20 or 21, I gave myself a goal to do at least one Magic the Gathering card before I hit 25, and I failed with it. But yeah, so maybe it will be a goal before hitting 30. This actually sounds a little bit more reasonable to try to achieve. So yeah, and I hope the card that hopefully one day I would do would be something that I could use, because as far as I know, they also send a lot of artist proofs for those cards, and it would basically mean that I have some cool artworks and a lot of cool cards. So yeah, that would be spectacular. And also in here you can see the bluish hues that I have no idea why I thought this is a good idea to put in here. There should be no blue hues in here, or if there should be some, there should be like not much, or at least not that much. Rich greens are the colors, and rich like yellows are the colors that should be like mostly here. So yeah. Yeah, and I heard it's not even that hard to start doing it, but they really do have a lot of artists that they already know. And they basically will most likely always prioritize the artists that they already established some sort of a connection with already. So yeah. Also, I wonder if they sometimes do something like, for example, that you do a painting or whatever, and they just want your painting to be in a set. Because, for example, somehow it magically fits to what they actually need. I wonder if this is the case, if this happens. I remember hearing a story about someone I was following, but it was really longest time ago, that did some sort of a like face in it looked a bit like this. It was like a face from a side with like the scared eye and where and there were like a lot of vines around it. So this was like the eye and ear, nose, and there were like vines around it, and he, I believe, showed this artwork somewhere in some sort of an event. I don't know why, but I think it was somewhere in London, but I might be absolutely mistaken. And they were like, "Oh yeah, that's great, that's cool. We take it." And he or she, most likely he, it was, as I remember correctly, got hired on the spot. Yeah, I mean, like with everything, if you know people, and it's always much easier. So it's just easier to stop pretending it's not the case. You basically just need to know folks, because it's really hard to get by if you like don't know anything, like if you don't know anyone and nobody ever heard about you. So this might be a bit more problematic than to do something like this. I can imagine those guys having some sort of a like webs, some sort of a rope tied in here so they won't lose their socks or whatever, however to call those. But yeah. And also I'm sometimes really surprised that, for example, as far as I know, Konstantinos Kenteridis never did any card for them, because if there is anyone who is like perfect for Magic the Gathering, it's him, because he has this crazy great vibe. For example, this one. This is like ready-made Magic the Gathering card. So also, if anyone does not know, Konstantino Skenteridis or King Kostas art, I believe. And also he has tons of great process videos on his art station, so definitely check him out, because he is, yeah, with all his artworks are just like mental. They are just like way too good. So for example, this guy, this is also in my opinion like a ready-made Magic the Gathering card. So yeah, and it will be kind of stupid. There is a ride. I once had a ride like previously back in the days, and I absolutely never heard anything about it previously. And it happened that I absolutely ignored it. So thanks for riding. So there is an event. And at some point I was even thinking today about not subscribing and maybe, no, not subscribing, not streaming, to just watch some more cars from Magic the Gathering. So I'm glad I did. Hello, Kademila. Hello, everyone. Cool that you are here. Thank you. I'm glad you do like them. But yeah, remember to check Kostas Skenteridis, because his artworks are absolutely great. Yeah, and also I am not. Oh yeah, the YouTube guys can see the chat. Yeah, you can see the chat on the screen. I forgot I did it. So if there will be any interactions, you can easily do it. Thanks for the following. I'm not sure if you can hear the sounds of someone following, or if it's just for me, or if it's like for a stream audio. I have not a single clue. But if it is a problem, then let me know. I will somehow try to turn it off next time. So it won't be way too loud because it's a bit loud for me. So yeah. Ah, okay. Hello, I'm Iblert. All is fine. Yeah, if it's too loud, just next time I'll try to make it a bit more subtle. Ah, okay. So a little bit more interaction. Yeah, I unfortunately tend to stream at weird hours in a sense because for the place where I live, it's like basically almost 10 p.m., so it's a bit late. And for example, for like the US viewers, it's extremely early as far as I know because they are like 8 hours back in clock in time. So I'm not sure, but this is not the most the audience friendly hours to stream, but eh, those are also the only hours where I can actually stream, so I will just try to stick to them. And yeah, it will be cool. Oh, okay. It's 3:30. I recently decided to like give up this kind of way of living where I would like go to sleep on like 6 a.m. or something like this. It was absolutely brutal for me, and waking up early is one of the hardest things I can imagine. And just to like be awake early is a hard task to do, but I'm doing my best. And actually it kind of works. It somehow helps me to do more. And yeah, usually every single like, coaching video starts with like wake up early, you will do more and yada yada. And I was always like extremely skeptical about it, but there is some truth about it. It's just like I feel I can do more, even though technically I have the same amount of hours during the day. But the huge profit is that when I actually have a free time, other people are also alive at this time, at the same time. So yeah. Also, if anyone is new here, because you might have not heard it, because I usually say it in the beginning of the stream, if you have any artworks or whatever that you would like to share or to get a critique on, feel free to share some links and I will try to check them out and give you some pointers if I can, or if you have any specific questions about anything, feel free to ask them. Can be art related, don't have to be art related. So yeah, if anything interests you, be my guest to ask some questions if you have. It's also much easier than to talk because I do have a certain topic to do so. But fortunately, it's not that big of a deal. I remember back in the days when I just started streaming, just talking was extremely hard, and I was try-harding to keep the conversation going. And it was also really tiring in a sense, where I just had to like, how to say it? I was just really trying to talk about anything. I'm not even sure how to say it. But the only thing that I will like get out of this was to stress myself. This. I heard a sound that I have never heard previously. I have not a single clue what it was. But also I see the Streamlabs reset, so possibly the Twitch is not working. So yeah, most likely the Twitch is not. Yeah, and this is what I thought. Twitch. I have not the slightest clue why Twitch is stopping working to work all the time. Can I somehow restart it? I don't think so. Maybe it will work again. Oh yeah, I think it does work. Oh yeah, it does work. Yeah, from time to time. I have not the slightest clue why, but Streamlabs just like resets, and yeah, and it shows me that I'm live for like 0 seconds, and because of this, it shows me that yeah, it basically resets everything, and it usually happens in situations like this. So yeah. Oh my god, the fucking Twitch. Hmm. 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 Audio problems. Then Twitch is the problem. Ah, okay. So now the problems then. Oh, but yeah. Yeah, but stuff like this always happens. Someone writes or does something like this. So let's say something good happened in a sense, and the Twitch will be like, huh, no. Oof. And it will reset. But maybe it's Streamlabs. I will have to write to support because it's not the first time it happened. And I have not the slightest clue if this is a problem with the internet correction and everything. And yeah, it might also be, yeah, they disappeared. So as soon as the stream crashed, most likely. Yep, but it's better to have like a quality 3 or 4 people than like 1,000 that is not paying attention at all. I always preferred quality over quantity. Unless I'm playing goblins in Magic the Gathering. Then the quantity of 1/1 creatures is absolutely cool. Yeah, I honestly have not the slightest clue how it does work, but it does show me some message. I mean, it does show the messages from Kademila and some other messages, so yeah. It should work. If I would stress about stuff like this, then I would not get anywhere with anything that I do in here, so if it works, it's nice. If it does not work, then, well, tough luck. But yeah. And also, if anyone is wondering and, I don't know, would like to see previous streams or whatever, all of them are uploaded to YouTube, so feel free to go there also. I think the link is in the somewhere in Twitch, but if it's not, it's the same username. So a little bit of advertising here and there. And I will also finish the stick with this small fella in the background. I do like him. So yeah. And today also I was thinking about like this series, and I guess in the end I will just like grab all of them together in a single document. I think the document will be kind of big, but shouldn't be like crazy big. And I will just try to do like one stream to just make one massive background for all of them, so they all won't have the same background, but they will have like the panorama type of a shot for all of those. Yeah, honestly, if I were you, I would just go to sleep or whatever. I'm not advocating now, like new week, new me or whatever, but I'm not advocating staying up that late because the next day is like a total hangover. It always feels like a hangover. Yeah, and it usually. Oh, thanks. I'm glad you like it. Usually with stuff like this is the monster that I have like the least amount of hope for it. So I never thought the Goblin would be anywhere good, or that I will enjoy it that much. But it turns out like theoretically the easiest monster is the most enjoyable, and actually allows me to practice the rendering and everything best. Maybe because it's a bit simpler creature, so this might be a reason. But other than that, I do feel at this moment he is like the best one in the sort. I am not going to go to sleep at 6 a.m. anytime soon, hopefully, unless there is like a party and I will just get back from the party around 6 in the morning. Then okay, then it's fine, but it has to be on the weekend because most likely when I wake up from like the slumber, I will be so tired for the entire day that I will like naturally reset my sleep schedule. So yeah, but I am not willing to do this. Also, I need to adjust the TT. Today when I opened it, I also saw that it's a little bit in the wrong place. So yeah. Now it should look a little bit better. I'm never really sure how to deal with like those really strong light type of situations. Like, of course, I could do some like reflected lights in here, but I guess I will just add some of the blues because there's like this blue layer, current layer. Take some from the head because I do believe even though it's quite far away from the sky, it might catch some blue light onto it. So I will just like dim it a bit so it will introduce some of the grays in here. But the hand is this layer. But most likely the reflection from the ground will be even a bit stronger. So yeah. And also the thing that I have noticed recently, because I have been like looking at some quality of the stream, how it looks like actually after a video, like as a video, because I have been experimenting with the live stream settings, as I said, like many times, and I have not a single clue why, but previously all the videos were in 4K, now they are not. Do know what is going on with it. Maybe I will just have to ask someone who is a little bit more knowledgeable about it. I mean, most likely I should do it like pretty much immediately. And I noticed when I start like focusing a bit more and thinking about something, I tend to really slow down with talking. It was kind of funny for me because I never noticed it like while talking, but now I kind of like not only feel that I need to think a bit more, but I also hear it. So yeah, it's kind of weird to be aware of stuff like this. Matching upload and source settings are separate. I have not the slightest clue, honestly. Output is, yeah, it's like, I don't know why now it tells me the bitrate is 450, 4,500. That's not a lot. That's really not a lot. It was set to be much more. It was set to be like 30,000 or something like this. So I have not the slightest clue why now it is so small, but our settings, but camera might not be. Yeah, but I also do stream on YouTube, so I don't know why. But maybe this might be the case. Huh. Oh yeah, this is actually really informative because I used to be logged in primarily on YouTube, not on Twitch, so I guess I will just primarily. Yeah, it kinda is, but I think I will just log into YouTube account to be a prime, like my primary source. And I think it was set up like this previously. I absolutely forgot about it. So this actually might be a reason that the quality is dropping, and maybe I will just treat the Twitch as a secondary platform. Because I don't remember what was wrong with YouTube that I had to change it to Twitch. I do believe something might not work, but maybe Maybe the ride actually caused the stream to reset and to change the settings. I don't know. Let me also check on YouTube, because this might mean the YouTube quality is actually absolute dog shit at the moment. Is it at least? Oh no, on YouTube it says 4K. Okay, I have not the slightest clue what is going on, so yeah. Oh yeah. Honestly, I had no idea that you can't have affiliate. I thought it's absolutely illegal to stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. And I thought I was breaking a law, but now it's good to know that I don't break a law. So I feel a little bit less illegal right now. But yeah, I'm not even close to be an affiliate, so your generations I think are separate. It might be reduced in your Twitch because you're on traffic priority. Oh yeah. Yeah, the only traffic priority that I want to be is when I want to cross a street, so I can live with it that Twitch does not really prioritize me that much. So this is fine and cool. But yeah, thanks for the info. That's really good to know, because I was trying to search some informations for it, and once I even asked the support about it, but they were like, instead of like answering my question, they asked if they solved my question, what was not really helpful, and it answered zero of my questions. But yeah, but it does make sense. But yeah, with the affiliate that you can only stream on one platform, this does actually make a lot of sense. So yeah, I wonder how I never thought of that it might work this way. So yeah, thanks a lot. This is really good pack of informations. But yeah, actually the entire streaming thing is a bit hard to set up. And honestly, like, I always knew that streaming as a full-time job is hard, but man, I can't imagine doing this like 8 hours per day every single day. Maybe when I would play games or whatever, maybe then it will be a little bit easier, in a sense that it's kind of a bit more entertaining and less challenging, but it will be hard. Understand. Oh yeah, I always forget about Reddit. I had like a brief moment about me using Reddit, and I was posting art in it, and the response and everything was extremely cool. And at some point I just stopped because I was not streaming for a longer period of time, and I forgot about like Reddit absolutely, completely. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about Reddit at all. I have to go there to ask some questions, because yeah, true. Jesus Christ, I would die. I mean, I like to talk and everything, and I like to like meet people and whatnot and discuss stuff. But 8 hours a day would kill me. I mean, it will be pretty much impossible with my like daily schedule, in a sense, due to work and whatnot. But maybe at some point, one day, maybe. Because the only thing that I was thinking about right now was to only increase the stream quality, in a sense, to buy a better camera, some lights in the background and whatnot. I mean, I have all the lights, but I just need to set them up correctly. But I don't have like a shelf in the background to put them on it, so I would have to mount a shelf, and this is a lot of work. So yeah. Yeah, kinda, yeah. Yeah, after the stream I need to check your stuff then. It sounds really cool. Yeah, and actually when I was kinda going, I mean, not kinda, but when I was going full-time in a place where I work right now, like a week before it happened, before I got hired, uh, Magma Studio, I believe, For the app that allows to like streamers to like connect in one file and just paint in one file, asked me if I wanted to like promote them and work kinda like for them. I think it was Magma or whatever. Oh, nice. Yeah, if I will like finish my thing, because I usually stream for about like 2 hours, hour and a half or something like this, then I might check it if I won't go to sleep, or if the Magic the Gathering cards won't consume my full attention again. Because recently as I said, I'm all about Magic the Gathering, and yeah, Magic is cool, Magic is life. So yeah. Oh yeah, chill. Yeah, I usually don't try to stress anything anywhere. I'm trying to live possibly the least amount of stress type of a life, so it's really hard to actually stress me. It does happen sometimes. I can be overwhelmed. Maybe not quite easily, but it did happen many times. But yeah, if I cannot stress, I won't stress. It's always a huge ass problem for me to like understand how the light would work on something so thin. It always looks too flat or way too like 3D. In a sense, it's always hard to find a good balance between the like nicely painted and like pushed too far in terms of like the geometry, especially on like small elements like this. Whoops. Yeah, one of the coolest skills to have would be to just like know what colors to use, like kinda be at the stage where I can just like paint something with some brushstrokes and it looks okay, instead of like having to search for everything and everything. Karia. Oh, it's smart naming, Kari Academia. Just now it occurred to me it's like a hidden academia word in it. Sometimes I really feel like a goblin like this, not being the fastest tool in the shed, or however to say it. I wonder what the fastest tool in the shed is. So yeah. Yeah. And with the feet, I mean, I won't get defeated by defeat, but with the feet, the thing is, I don't really have to polish them that much, because most of the geometry will be basically hidden under the grass and whatnot. So the only thing I want to do is to push those fingers a bit so the shape is a little bit easier to read. So I'm aiming more into, not into feet looking like this, but more into something like this. It does feel a little bit more primitive for me in a sense, and it kind of does fit the goblins. Don't know why I can imagine them having a bit of a longer finger, like the second finger should be longer for them. And because on the fingers I made their nails black, they also should have black nails on the feet. And this is the other thing that I wanted to include in this, guys. I often feel that if you have a creature that is kinda on the limited side with its intelligence and everything, it should have lesser amount of fingers and everything. So for hand it can be like 4 or 5. This guy will have 5, but on legs it can have like 4. I don't know if this makes sense, like from the evolutionary standpoint, if you can have like creatures, or if even there is a creature that has like 4 on legs and 5 on hands or whatever. Yeah, at some point it will be on our station. I just want to finish all the creatures for the city. I did the Cyclop and a Troll. Now closing with the Goblin, and then the Orc, Wolf, and a Giant are left. And then I will like upload them in a book, or yeah, because I need to like put all of them together and to do some final adjustments so they will fit a bit more. But yeah, feel free to do anything that I do in 3D if you want to practice this way or whatever. Gates open, 100%. I don't have any problems with it, so if you wish, feel free. If you don't want to tag me, also feel free to not tag me and just send me the artwork. I will gladly check it out, how it looks like. I remember really back in the days, like extremely back in the days when I just started out. When I was like in my teenage years. I don't know why, but people were really afraid of posting their sources. Like when they did something, they all felt like they have to hide the sources that they have, like the best as they can. People really felt ashamed back then to like to share what sources they were using. Don't know why. Things like this. Hello, Michał. Yeah, Michał actually told me today that all my monsters and creatures have something in the face from me, so I do agree. I do paint them to be similar to me. That's 100% true. I do believe I want him to have like the fur type of protection from 4 legs. So let me just dry heavy load, moist light mix. So I don't really feel that the material looks that well. So I will just make it fur. And the brush, the mixer brush tool is absolutely perfect for it. So oh yeah, feel free to do everything that I do. Really often, if you don't know what to practice and if you can't find anything, just go for some sort of an art school, like let's say Feng Zhu School of Design, FZD, and just search for student work, because they in the schools like this they usually also do the views, so you will have the frontal view, side view, and all the information that you might need as a 3D artist. And yeah, then this is one of the ways that you can go. And because really rarely I think it happens that when someone does a like personal project for themselves, that they actually also do the views. It's not a common occurrence, I think, because it just takes a lot of work, and doing views is just kind of boring. I did not, in a sense, got into it, because when I started, it was when I was around 12, 13, something like this, in a sense that then I knew I wanted to do something graphic related and everything. And then I wanted to more be like graphic designer type of a guy. So I was learning a lot of Photoshop and everything and whatnot. So yeah, also Nicholas he has a PTSD from the goblins because I played the goblin decks against him. And he is also using the illegal card in his decks, so kindly please remove it. So yeah, but about the stuff, at some point I was just like, do I really enjoy all this like photo manipulation, text effects type of a things? Do I really want to do like leaflets, book covers, flyers, logotypes and everything? and I was not entirely convinced with it. And shortly after, I discovered that, wait, there's something like digital painting. It's like, yeah, that you have a graphic tablet and you basically draw on your PC. And I really liked it, and I decided to give it a go. And since I was enjoying drawing much more than doing like graphic design in a sense, I just kept drawing. And because I was like doing it, I was doing it pretty much constantly. And at some point, someone wanted some sort of a commission. Actually, the first commission that I almost got tried to rip me off in a sense that the agreement would force me to work for free and pay them money if I screw up or something like this, and to give the rights of the artworks that I do to someone else without anything for me. So it was kind of sketchy. But yeah, after some time I got some first commissions, and it just like started doing like this. I started going like this. Then I got some more illustrative type of works and everything. And also I was studying at Academy of Fine Arts. I was studying the industrial design type of a thing. It's called design, but it's industrial design, like the product design, stuff like this. And I learned a lot about the design there, how to approach everything, the problem solving, and yada yada. And after some time, because I finished the master's degree there, and pretty much after finishing my studies in 2019 or 18, 19 I believe it was, I was doing freelance for a year and a half, and a company where I work right now asked me for some freelance, and then they asked me if I want to work for them full time. And I agreed, and it's still the best company I have ever worked with, and the team is great, everything is great, highly recommended. So I work now in Share Creators, Share Creators. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff they are doing. And my art directors are extremely cool, they are extremely helpful, and I have learned a ton while being in there. And also, what is kind of funny, it also gave me much deeper insight into what actually matters while you're doing stuff like this. And kind of fortunately and kind of unfortunately, 99% of the stuff that you will do is like mostly requires artists and illustrators that just can do a really cool drawings and stuff. At the moment, there's a little bit less design in it, but I guess it also depends on the project. But yeah, this might also be a case. So now I'm mostly like practicing rendering skills and everything, because sometimes I just want to design something and I know I can design it, but it will take me way too long using my casual methods of designing, and I need to just practice like being better at drawing, so then I can deliver better designs faster. So yeah, but yeah, instead of like working on those skill sets when I was studying, because it was kind of impossible to do so, I was mostly focusing on design back then. So now I can at least say that in terms of like design, I do know how to approach most of the stuff. And as far as I know, it is a bit harder skill set to learn and by yourself, because there is just much fewer resources on the topic, and it's just harder to step by on something like this. While in terms of like the craftsmanship, the actual like drawing skills and everything, the resources are much more, how to say it, easy to step by. I'm missing a word that would nicely describe it. It's much more accessible. And the cool thing is, yeah, if I could like decide if I would do those studies again, definitely I would do them again, because they were just like cool. So I don't mind those. I will also paint some. These feet are bright. Those feet are brighter than my future. Need to make them a bit darker. Not that dark. I never reached out to clients. Only once in my life I wrote to a studio that I would like to work for them. Because at that point I was also considering to just like move abroad, like to just like do something in a sense that, oh, now I have to move abroad and like flip my life 180. And I was like, yeah, okay, if it works, then I will like do a parkour. But they only wrote to me that they are not hiring right now, but they went through my portfolio and they liked it. But if I would like to join them in the future, if they open the hiring teams and everything, I should work on this, and that, and then resubmit my portfolio. So this was like the only studio that responded. I believe it was a Red Links in Finland. It might have been, but I'm not entirely sure. And I think I have sent an application for CD Projekt Red when they were doing like the interns and everything. But at that point I was also studying, so I was not really that much convinced if I would like to do it. And about the freelance works, the easiest way definitely will be to write to some companies that deal with custom minis and that deal with board games and trading card games, because for every single game that they are going to release or a project, there will be a lot of illustrations that are pretty much needed, and with the minis, a lot of designs that must be done. So you basically will always have some of the commissions from them, because let's say a new set is coming up and you will have to do like 8 or 10 illustrations or whatever like this between like those numbers, along those numbers. So yeah, so this is like I would say the most stable type of a job. Doing freelance for studios on a bigger project is tempting, but it's definitely much less stable in a sense of the amount of work, but it also depends on how good you are and how reliable you are. So if a studio likes you and if you are like really reliable and you send everything on time, then it's okay. Also, it will provide you a steady stream of commissions. But the thing also is doing studio work while you are on freelance kind of sucks, because it's really hard to negotiate all the extra payment for all the like changes. So you said this and that, you agreed on everything. Always remember to specify the amount of fixes that you are willing to do like for free, or the amount of fixes that are included in the price that you set, because without it, it might be a problem later, because turns out like one artwork will take you like almost a month, and it will barely be enough to like buy food or whatever, because you thought you will be able to do 10 of those. But yeah, it does happen. As I always say, don't expect anything at the beginning, just like fail miserably several times, and yeah, you will see what mistakes you were doing and you will remember them, because it's really hard to see all the possible problems that you might encounter. So yeah, I do like how this leg looks like, but I don't like it how it. I mean, I do like this, but I don't like how it looks on the character. I feel it feels a bit off. But I like the general colors and everything, but not here. Yeah, but the thing is, just be reliable. And if you are doing anything at the beginning, this is what I always say to everybody who is just starting out: spam with your stuff everywhere. Share on DeviantArt, ArtStation, Reddit, wherever you can, on Facebook. Just spam your stuff. Name the files. This is also important. Because if you name a file correctly, then if anyone will type something in the web, there is a chance that they will see your files. And yeah, this is like, this is what is kinda what you have to do. Because even now, like, I'm doing, let's say, goblins, so at this point it's not like a huge amount of work put into them, like into this one. But if I will like tag the video properly, upload the files, upload them to like 5 different sites, 20 different groups or whatever, most likely someone will see them. And you never know who is looking at the pictures at the given time. So maybe it happens that the second you uploaded something will be a second where someone who needs some illustrations will be going through some portfolios and everything, and they will just like what you are doing. So this is why like uploading your stuff is to say at least important, because you never know who is like watching, who is looking. And at this moment the ArtStation is the best platform to upload to. LinkedIn is also really cool. I was recently surprised that so many artists are using LinkedIn. Now, I thought the site is like dead. It turns out it's thriving at the moment, and almost every single artist is on LinkedIn. And it just reminded me that I wanted to start posting a little bit more to LinkedIn. So from now on I will, because maybe someone from there will actually see that I'm streaming or whatever, or I don't know. At this point where I'm at with YouTube and everything, I don't really, let's say, care that much if I have like 1 million viewers or whatever, or if it's like 0. But every single view helps, so it might be a foundation to build something in the future. And as I said, like I like doing streams because it just kinda, in a sense, forces me to do something with my spare time that is a little bit more creative. So yeah. And with the clients, like, sometimes if you won't be able to take some commissions or whatever, just like refer someone else. So it's good to be known, like not known, but to know some people's, because yeah, out of 10 artists, maybe nobody will be able to pick up a commission and you will be the only one available. And sometimes it does happen that they will hire someone who is much less skilled for the same price, because like the availability is the only thing that, I mean, one of the things that this person has to offer, because as far as I know, also nowadays it's really hard to find artists. There's a shortage of the artists in the industry. Or at least this is the vibes that I have been getting recently, because every single studio that wrote to me asked me because they have problems with people, and it's really hard to retain the artists nowadays, which is kind of weird, because I would expect after like all the coronavirus and everything that people will pick up a lot of hobbies and whatnot, and the market will actually be much more competitive, because a lot of people, like in 2 years of corona, let's say, if someone would just like really put in the work, in 2 years you can easily become like an artist who is competitive. It will take a lot of work and a lot of time and everything and commitment, but it is possible to do something like this. So this is why I also kind of wonder why there is a shortage of people, in a sense. So yeah, I don't like this shape that much, but yeah. Yeah, and also some of the work that I have gotten was also due to like someone referring me somewhere. The fact that was really helpful also was the fact that I was teaching in a school of art, like a private workshops and everything, where I previously used to also attend to learn how to draw. And with every single like person, I just knew a lot of people because of the classes, and sometimes they knew people, and and they referred me to them because I teach them. Yeah, I mean, there are thousands of things to work on because, like, pretty much with every single year, the mobile market is growing. All the board games are growing. All the stuff that you can basically do inside your home while everything else is closed is growing. So maybe not tons of people picked up art. I mean, tons of them definitely did, but also tons of people started finally working on their projects, like board games, card games, whatever. So there's like a huge demand for it. Started writing or whatever. So all the market for the book covers and whatnot is huge, and the demand definitely is there. The demand is not going down, and yeah, I think there are tons of stuff to work on. And really often it might happen that you will work on stuff that you don't even know you would like to work on. This is also something that is, let's say, kind of normal. Because a lot of people don't actually know what they will be doing in different companies. So it might happen that, for example, you will start doing UI all of a sudden. I did tons of UI in the company where I work right now. I mean, maybe not tons, but quite a lot. And I was doing stuff that I was not thinking I would do, and I'm not doing stuff that I thought I would do. So yeah. But as far as I know, sometimes you just like you will be the only available person who will do something, and all of a sudden you are specialized in it, in a sense, at least a bit. So yeah, I would say there is the market is still like not saturated with the artists. And even with the amazing artists, this is also a thing that I heard, that many of those artists who are really good are great artists for the artwork that they do, but for example, they are really bad at team working, or that they do have problems with keeping the schedule on everything, or they are just like kind of unpleasant to be between. So kind of to find a combo of someone who, let's say, is extremely good with art, is like charismatic and whatnot, might be a hard thing to step by. And this is also a thing that I heard many times, that majority of people will hire someone, and it's not in only in the art field, but it's like a general type of statement, that at this moment the source is trust me bro, but if you dig you will find the source, that people are more likely to hire someone who they like spending time with, who is less skilled, than someone who is much more skilled but is just like unpleasant to work with and stuff like this. So, or for example, being reliable. This is also a huge part. If you're reliable, even if you produce a bit of a worse quality of art, then or whatever, then most likely people will prefer you over other candidates. Being reliable is, as far as I know, really underrated, and it's also one of the skills that is kind of like hidden in a sense, because it's really hard to kind of like practice being reliable. You either are, you are, you either are reliable or you are not. So yeah, this is that. I kind of wonder what the autocolor autotune would say right now. Autocolor, yeah, no. Auto contrast changes nothing. Autotone. Autotone kinda wants to make him a little bit more blue. I disagree. I mean, it's never bad to be just a nice person. So, one of the best tips that you can get when you are doing something, just don't be a dick. And yeah, mm, stuff will happen. Like, I don't think being a dick is a desired trait. So yeah, I need to. I want to. This is the Goblin, all the Cyclop. Do I have the layer with all this shit on him? Oh, of course I don't, because why would I keep it? Why would I keep something this important to remember how I did it? Of course I did not make it. But, what I want to do, I want to give him some like tribal painting, something yada yada, because I do believe he is like pretty much finished. So the Goblin, and giving him some tattoos, and I will actually this time the blue Fresno I will keep blue Fresno version. Yep, it's on this one. And this is what? This is this guy, okay. Also, I think this cut is a little bit too deep. Muscle striation. I do like it, but it's a bit too strong. But there might be a touch of light more in here. Valheim Goblins. I only heard about Valheim, never played it. And also, now you said about crafting, it reminded me that I wanted to give him a bone. Huh. Didn't know that. I only heard about Valheim, so this is this. Okay, this goes here. This goes here. Copy. Okay. What have I connected right now? What? Those layers. Okay, go here as a copy. What layer is the hair? Excuse me. What? Ah, okay, that explains a lot. So one of those two are okay. Yeah, let me check it quickly. Valheim Goblin Poolings. Oh yeah, those are like the those look like the most typical goblin you can imagine in a games. Nice. Yeah, I heard this game is really cool. A friend of mine was or is playing this game still. I like games like this, but I never like the games that in the end don't kinda in a sense achieve me anything. I don't know how to say it. Like I always enjoyed survival games, but I can't get uh, reasons to play them anymore. Like in this fashion where you actually have to grind for something. Now I will be doing the liquefy small thing, so I'm not sure if you know. You are not going to see it unless I turn on the display capture. Yeah, display capture. Because I kinda want to fix some abdominal area. So this striation is a bit weird. Kinda round him here and there and to give him a little bit more like pear type of a shape instead of like straight up like circle. Yeah, I mean, I feel this game is kind of like the Among Us or everything's like short-lived hype. And yeah. But I mean, whatever anyone likes. I also played tons and tons of stupid games that don't lead to anything, so I don't judge. I've been also always playing for vast majority of my life on different games and whatnot, so I am not the one who would hate on games. Unless the game is absolutely stupid, but there are like not many games like this that are really stupid. Or at least I hope there are not many of those. Okay. I feel something really off with this area. I feel like the legs should just be like much darker. Oh my god. No, don't flip it. Yeah, I feel the feet should be a little bit darker. Yeah, this looks kind of better. Does presents rather okay-ish. Okay. How the fuck did I did those tattoos? Was it just like a white layer? Opacity flow. White classical white layer overlay and underneath it white layer. Color we've reduced like 50%. And this on like soft light? No, definitely not. So it has to be overlay. Oh my god, I don't absolutely remember how I did it. I do only remember I was talking about this method in the video. So maybe it was actually a colored, slightly colored type of a brush. This would make it a bit more. Yeah, actually, I think it was slightly more color for it. Okay, goblin. If I would be a goblin, what I would paint on myself? Definitely, I would like to draw some like lines on my stomach. Let me actually make a color in here and paint with white so I can see it. Maybe something like this. Here. Definitely some sort of like wrapping on the hands. Yeah, because those are the goblins, they might have the eye in here. What else they could get? Facial paints. I kind of feel the line on the nose would fit. Yeah, the line on the nose fits nicely. I like the line on a chin and on a lip. I do feel this can be like a common theme for all of them. I do enjoy it. Maybe one line. Maybe like a dot. No, the line. On the forehead. This could be like a common theme for them. For example, maybe for this tribe. So let's say all of them are for like this type of a tribe. And yeah, and they will just have a similar tattoos everywhere. Later, I think I will have to add some of those to the troll because I don't think I have ever done this to the troll. Or if I did, they were not really like that visible. I do believe I had like a cool reference with tattoos like this somewhere in here. Only as always. but I don't think I have right now. This is one of the things that is like so simple to add that is actually hard. Africa. Maybe some, yeah, tribal tattoos. If you just type tribal tattoos, you will get tons of shit instead of tribal tattoos. Yeah, but maybe some like triangles and whatnot. This guy could actually wear some sort of a necklace. So I might give him like a line on a tit. Maybe like 3 lines on a tit. So I don't know what it does mean. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that he survived an attack of whatever. Let's just do something like this. Some hand circles. Yeah, those type of things do make sense. More lines, more lines. Also, when you are doing stuff like this, just remember about the geometry, that it wraps around the forms. I'm not sure about those on a chest. Maybe something horizontal in here. And some dots. And actually, this is one of the things that you would actually design if you were doing a concept art. So you'll have to think about it, the culture, the tribes, the whatnot, the everything. And as expected, the preview for the previous document lagged, so I have to make a new window for it. And yeah, and maybe these guys are keeping all the chalk and everything that they used to draw with in those bags. So maybe this guy is just like drawing on folks, and he just like smears later the hand into the cloth, into this material type of a thing. So he's a bit dirty with it, and he also has some on the stuff and on the fingers. So he is all about painting those on folks. So his hands are dirty. Yeah, but I mean, sometimes you just have to also play some pointless games, so just like let the brain absolutely wander off. And this is a bit too complex for him. Okay, let's test it. Let's change the color of those to this. Change it to color, and then this change it to the overlay. And yeah, it does work well. Reduce the opacity. Maybe slightly increase the brightness. It does look like he's dirty with all of this, so now masking it to slightly damage it here and there, but not too much, just to like maybe give it additional shading, or in the sweaty areas like the middle of a chest or the forehead, so that it will slightly wear off tad faster. But generally speaking, it does look kinda okay-ish. And let me grab this color, it's like dirty color, and splash some of it on the bag, and make it ignore some of the things. So let me remove it from this and from that. Well, and to just like dirty it a bit more. The thing that I definitely need to dirty a bit more to add a little bit more character to everything that is in here is this type of a thing. So I need to like just slightly with some layer styles to give it some like dirt texture. To ignore the white. Yep, it does look a bit better. And overall to introduce some like random texturing on him, so let me just like stain him here and there. Some like random brushes. And where is my favorite brush with textures? Here it is. Let me just see what will happen if I will just do, I don't know, multiply on it, reduce it, and just make it stay away from the brighter layer or from the darkest areas. It is supposed to, no, it does not work really that well. So let me bring back the dirt. Let me warp it slightly. And usually also remember that if you work with texture, and not always, but in some like heavily distorted areas, it's good to warp the texture accordingly, because it will be visible, because you can see also the form through the texture that is on the characters. Okay, let me now clean him, and let me now bring back some of the dirt. So now I'm getting kind of like a double dirt texture, because I was using the textured brush for the dirt, and now I'm also using the textured brush to recover the dirt. So only partially it recovers it from here and there and there. So it's not, it will be even less uniform than it should be. And of course the areas that are mostly used, so like the bottom of a stick or the top of the stick or the feet, can be a bit more on the dirtier side. And if you feel some of the dirt is a little bit too uniform, you can always smudge it, because smudging also produces a more natural looking dirt. So yeah, let's say this is this. Let me add him only a nose piercing, because I wanted him to have it. I did not want it to paint it previously, because it will like occlude the part of a face. It will also cast a shadow, so you have to remember. And the bright part will be in light. And because this is relatively thin thing, then there's a huge chance that it will be almost like white all the way through, and it will be really hard to like cast a sensible shadow on it, but I might try it anyway. So yeah, something like this. Let me group it, duplicate it, and save it, because I want to work on a duplicate. Let me clean off the hair a bit more, and because the area on top of the head will basically be like very uniformly lit. Top of the head, clean some of the small artifacts here and there. Some of the smaller hair strands, so it's not like as uniform, because you can see some of the hairs like falling off. Even if this is like dreadlocks, and they don't have to be like extremely uniform. And my favorite type of a detail, just like not take me white, and give some hair here and there. Or maybe not white, but darker. You can have like a more fury appearance. And then some of the hair I will just manually make brighter. But yeah, I imagine creature like this being kinda more on the hairy side, so it can have like the color of the skin somewhere. So yeah, this is not the most important detail, but it does add a nice level of believability to the creature. It's always something that I miss from a lot of artworks. They forget the creature. Most likely don't really I don't know, peel the hair away from their body. They don't care about it, and that the hair tend to grow everywhere. So on the stomach, on the chest, it don't have to be like a lot, but I do believe it always produces a nice small detail here and there. Some of the hair on the chest can be a bit darker, and some on the ears. Hello, Mikołaj. As I said in a previous stream, my ear tend to grow some long ass hairs from time to time. So this guy is now inspired officially by me. Some on the head. I feel the bones I could paint a bit more, but maybe when I will be doing like the final refinement, maybe then I will try to work on those a bit more, but I on the other hand feel they're kinda okay-ish as they are right now. Yeah, how are you, Mikołaj? All fine? Yeah, some on the eyebrows, because if you're like a goblin, you need to have at least some eyebrows. And it also gives this face a bit more like primitive look. It looks a bit... The hair definitely add a lot of character to it. It's not as clean. Now it feels a bit more like, as Gotham Chess says, a little bit more ooga booga. And it's barely visible when you look at it like from a distance, but sometimes the huge amount of hair can also sculpt a bit of form for you, because you will add some of the brighter noise here and there. But definitely where I like it most is the hands and the forearms. This is and the armpits. Oh, of course. The armpits will be hairy as hell. Imagine those armpits. God, they have to smell bad. And the hair will be really long. Yeah, now we are getting there. Stinky as goblins. This is something that I sometimes see at the gym. There are just some folks that are like running and stuff like this in the sleeveless shirts, and like the armpits, those are like looking like a jungle. It's like crazy what some people are carrying underneath it. I mean, if someone likes, just like more power to them, but it does always creeps me out when I see how much some people have the hair. And usually the same people also leave a lot of like sweet stains on the machines and everything. So yeah, the legs and the hobbit feet. So yeah, if you are going to the gym, remember to bring a towel with yourself. A lot of people forget about it. Nice. Okay. I'm glad you are. Okay, the hair added. Oh yeah, it does happen sometimes. I recently have much less time for drawing because, as I said, I got addicted to Magic the Gathering, so tough luck. Bit more light here and there. And my favorite finisher, as always, white layer. Now it will be slightly less white, slightly more like yellowish. Here I want light, so soft light to make it a bit brighter, more like it's a daylight. So as you can see, even if you go opacity 100%, then it makes it exposed, almost like the background. I don't want him to be like extremely dark. I want to make him slightly brighter. So this definitely works to my favor, and the same thing on the ground, but more color on it because the reflected light from the below. Let's check. Screen is way too powerful. But screen on like 5% kinda works. Or soft light on 40%, but maybe a bit brighter. Yeah, the card game. Yeah, I think screen on 5 is best. And to make it ignore the darkest areas. This is a subtle thing, but yeah, it gets the job done. As you can see in black and white, it definitely makes him a little bit more unified with the environment. So yeah, let me remove this guy. Is he in a folder? Yes. Goblin. Let me now make a new layer. And let me now paint some of the grass that he's standing in, because previously I was masking it. I am not sure why. This is supreme method. I will just like paint the thing. Maybe I will just mask like the bottom area of the feet so they will like kind of disappear. But this looks 10,000 times better than the previous thing is. Yep, I was even talking about it previously on the stream. I think I will do some like Magic the Gathering, maybe analysis on some art that I do enjoy. This would be nice. And now it was the troll, I do believe, that had the layer with the shadow. This is a mess. What is going on in here? Okay, let me remove. Okay, no, let me don't remove it. But let me grab the shadow to my goblin. Because I do believe the shadow layer from the troll actually is okay-ish. But I have to place it here, and let me do the current layer. Color. And yeah, of course I did remove the shadow. What are the settings for the shadow? Multiply, okay. Multi. For the tattoo, do I have the layer with the tattoo? Still intact? No. Yes. Okay. What I'm doing right now is I want to just shadow tattoo. overlay. Have a layer with all the colors that I'm using, some, yeah. Oh yeah, Magic the Gathering stonks. It definitely has like the best art in all the trading card games. Okay. Does my tablet just did it? Hello? Okay, it does work. Okay, let me remove all the shadows and let me paint the shadow. Yep, hard surface is annoying. Yeah, the strategy for saving colors is a huge help. Because I'm really bad with remembering what I use. The good thing is I always can back on stream because I roughly do remember what I did where, but yeah. Nah. My god, okay. I need to construct the shadow. Wait. Yeah, I will have to do it like this. Okay, so here is the ground level, here is the horizon line, the vertical line. More or less he is tilting it a bit forward. And this is the point for the ground level for this. And now the direction and the angle. Oh no. No, I need a sharper light. Right? I don't want the angle to be on a character. But I think it will be on a character. Somewhere like in here. Oh no, this is annoying. Annoyance. What type of a Cyclops shadow was in here? Let me quickly check more or less how I did it. This angle more or less. Oops, this is a huge one. Yeah, I also need to remember to save the... Oh, it's exactly the same angle, okay. So it will be... So I will have it anyway, okay. So part of the spear will cast a shadow on the goblin. Not a tragedy, but I wanted to avoid it. Okay, shadow, current layer. Yeah, but that's right. 3D is really not forgiving easily. As I always say with a friend of mine, that you just have to have your brain differently wired to be a 3D artist. It's just a different type of a beast to deal with. Now I have to cast a shadow on him. Web. Roughly here. The bonus thing is the spear is extremely thin, so it won't cast like that deep of a, like that sharp of a shadow, or at least I think it won't. I don't even think it would cast like any visible shadow on him, but something like. But I think the shadow on him needs to be slightly darker, so actually it needs to be darker so it looks like a shadow on him. could look more like all layers more like this. Because it's also like really ooh, nice. Yep, it is 12 out of 10. I wanted to play it again, but I will just wait for them to release much more new content, and then I'm going to dive deep into it again. So I just need to wait because there's like no reason for me to play it again. No, will this thing somehow cast a shadow? Nah, it won't. Because this will go. Yeah, it will. Fuck. Shadow will go like this. Slightly maybe on the edge of the skull. Yeah, I will do it like this. And the spear. Okay, let me turn off the opacity first. Let me do too dark of a shadow so I will see what I'm doing. Maybe slightly tilted. Ooh, nice. The art book. Oh, yeah, it somehow with Elden Ring it never even occurred to me to like buy an art book or like a collector's version or whatever. I have not the slightest clue how I have not thought about it like even once. But yeah, then there is that. Yeah, let's say this shadow will be like this. And now let's blur it. And let's blur it. Let's remove this one. Shadow from the head, I want to be darker. And now reduce the opacity of those. Okay, the one on the skirt needs to be on a separate layer. Because the one on the skirt needs to be slightly darker. And this one needs to be much less, much weaker in opacity. Nice. Does it even draw? Oh, badly I hate when I try to do something and all of the sudden it just stops drawing. Oh, okay, there was a selection. Okay. Yeah, I just need some shadows to be slightly darker. Slightly more rich. And this is also one of the things that kinda shows the lack of control of the painting, because right now I'm doing the stuff that I should do really early on in the painting. Yeah, but the additional level of shadow here and there kinda fixes what I had some problems with it. And the last version, this adjustment needs to be done here. They only show the small fraction of stuff that was done in those projects. Believe me, like 99% of the stuff you will like never see in an art book. It will never be shown because of reasons. If they would like pump everything to an art book, it would easily be, I guess, 100 pages or even more. Definitely much more. So yeah. Or maybe they didn't have a lot of art, because I do, if I'm not mistaken, I have seen Ghost Runner, but I was not a huge fan of the designs that were in the Ghost Runner. They looked kinda, how to say it, too cyberpunk. They were much more cyberpunk than they needed to be, and they looked kinda off because of this for me. If this is like a game that I'm thinking about, if I'm not mistaken, it was like a game with like the dashing and the jumps and everything. It looked a little bit over the top for me. Definitely could be a little bit more subtle with some designs, but yeah. It all depends on the taste, I guess, so in the end. Let me just add some scratches here and there in the bag, some stitches, because snitches get stitches. Let me add some like final touches here and there. Yeah, okay, I would say the Goblin is finished. The shadows, yeah, the grass only needs to also go over the stick here and there and over the shadows, so. And some brighter strands here and there to kind of cover the feet, because painting the feet usually means a defeat. And yeah, if there is anything that I would most likely fix in the future is I don't enjoy this shadow that much, is the hand. I will most likely render it a bit more, but I guess if I will just combine all of them together, I will see all the problems that it has. A game called GTFO. I have never heard about this game, and I will definitely check it out. Most likely even now. I can also add some strands of this like there. But yeah, I think maybe I will unify and work on all the shadow when I combine all of those together. The spear needs a little bit more work, but I will call it a day, and I will call him a finished guy. But as always, when I say it, I only need to fix like one minor area, because it starts to annoy the crap out of me. And I definitely will need to fix in the future those strands on the stick, because they don't look right for me. Not sure what is wrong with them, but I will just try to fix them. So yeah, the Goblin is finished. Let me remove his smaller guy. Yeah, so this will be this for the stream. And thanks for watching. Have a good day or night or whatever. Enjoy yourself, stay hydrated, subscribe, like, comment on the video. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to ask. If you would like to send your artworks for critique or to just interact with someone, go to the Discord group. The link is in the description down below. And yeah, thanks for watching, and see ya.